You're good? Okay. Calling the meeting to order at 7:41 PM. Thank you everyone for your patience. I'm going to go through quick roll call. Shirley Lee,
Present.
Christine Huang,
Present.
Angela Harris,
Present.
Stephanie Collado,
Present.
Fabiola Abraham,
Present.
Shauna Williams,
Present.
Vincent Liu is not here right now. Mai Quinn Tang, not here, and Eden Rubenstein, I'm present. Okay. So our first order of business is our elections. So my name is Eden, and I'm going to be convening the annual meeting for the purpose of electing officers. We did go through our roll call. So Article 2, Section 2 of the council's bylaws requires that officers be elected by roll call vote at the annual meeting. To be elected, a candidate must have at least 7 votes. Officers remain in position until their successors have been elected. The first order of business is to elect a chair pro tem to chair the election meeting until the president has been elected. The chair pro tem must be someone who is not running for office in the election she or he is chairing. Since the first election is for president, the chair pro tem cannot run for president. Once the president is elected, he or she can take over running the election from the chair pro tem. Are there any nominations for chair pro tem? We will accept self-nominations.
Nominate myself.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
Second.
Nominations for chair pro tem are now closed, and we will proceed to a vote for the chair pro tem. Egypt, do you want to do a roll call vote?
Yes, give me 1 minute. Let me pull up the form. I'm so sorry. Oh,
Okay, when we do it. I'll say that part. And then I'll give.
1 minute. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pull up the roll call
I
sheet
can
that
start it
have.
meanwhile if you want.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you. Please.
So myself, yes. Shirley Lee,
Yes.
Christine Huang,
Yes.
Angela Harris.
Yes.
Stephanie Collado,
Yes.
Fabiola Abraham,
Yes.
and Shauna Williams.
Yes.
Okay, congratulations. Shirley Lee has been elected to serve as chair pro tem and will conduct the election of officers for 2025 to 2026.
I'll continue. To elect the officers, we'll vote upon each position before moving on to the next, so that any candidate not elected to an office can run for others. I'll take nominations, and members can nominate themselves. If a member is nominated by another member, I'll confirm that he or she accepts the nomination. Nominations do not need to be second. If a member is not present but has submitted his or her nomination in writing to the AA or another member, he or she will be treated the same as any member who is present, including having a 2-minute statement read aloud by someone else. Each nominee will be allowed to make a speech of up to 2 minutes. Following the candidates' presentations, we'll conduct a roll call vote. All positions must be voted on even if there is only one candidate. Where there are 2 or more candidates, each member must make a choice and vote for one or the other. Example, John Doe and Jane Smith are running for the president. On the roll call, each member will vote for either John or Jane. The council must not vote first on John, then on Jane. Members may abstain from voting. If no candidate receives at least 7 votes from CEC 25, we'll vote by show of hands on whether to do a second round or proceed to the elections for the next office. If a position remains unfilled over 2 or more rounds of voting, the incumbent will continue in the position. New elections for all unfilled positions must be put on the agenda of following month's calendar meetings until all the positions are filled. Is the procedure clear to all the members?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Good. First, we'll elect a council president. Are there any nominations for the office of president?
I will nominate myself, Eden Rubenstein, for president.
Any other second nominations? Okay, nominations for the office of presidents are now closed. I'll now call each candidate in alphabetical order to make a statement of up to 2 minutes. The AA will be the timekeeper. After all candidates have spoken, we will proceed with the roll call vote. Egypt?
I have a counter going. Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is
I
Eden
have mine
Rubenstein.
too. Sorry.
Awesome, thank you. So I am prior president from last term. I on my now 4th year as a member of the Community Education Council, and I am looking forward to working with all our new members, but I would like to continue to serve as a president as I've learned a lot the last year, and I would like to continue to do everything that I've been doing alongside all our members. So thank you.
So we'll do the roll call. Get the, I didn't get the.
Do you have it now, Egypt? Okay. roll call.
Yes.
Okay,
Shirley,
yes.
Christine,
Yes.
Angela,
Yes.
Stephanie,
Yes.
Fabiola,
Yes.
and Shauna.
Yes.
You gotta ask me also.
Oh, Eden. I didn't know that you vote for yourself too. I'm sorry.
Yes.
That's a quorum. Congratulations, Eden Rubenstein. You have been elected to serve as a council president for 2025 to 2026.
Okay. So we're gonna move on to nominations for the position of first vice president. Are there any nominations for the position of first vice president? Anybody want? I'm gonna nominate Shirley. She's sitting here so silently. Will you accept the nomination?
Yes.
Okay, anybody else interested in that one? Okay. So Shirley, you have a chance to make a statement for up to 2 minutes, and Egypt will keep time.
Okay.
You can say what.
Whenever
Hi,
you're ready.
I'm ready. Hi, my name is Shirley. Well, it's written as Song and Lee. It's hard to pronounce, so you could call me Shirley. So this is my actually 3rd term in a CEC 25. I grew with this CEC 25. In the beginning, I had no idea what's going on. Honestly, I was in a learning process, and as I learned more, it made me keep going because this seat actually do makes change. We grow with other parents, we grow with the community, and I just loved every moment of it. Yes, there was up and down. I'm not gonna lie. There was a big up and down. However, we had a teamwork of parents and we worked together, especially we have a really, really great superintendent, Dr. Mike over here. He's our strong back support. Any problem that goes around our community, especially with our kids and within our public school, we are there. So I really love having good teamwork, and I'm growing in here as a parent, but also as a our future kids advocate. So I like to be a first present just to help more. But if there's any member who's willing to do more, I'm more than welcome to, be a support as well. Thank you.
Shirley. Okay, Egypt, we're gonna go through a roll call vote.
Okay. Eden,
Yes.
Shirley,
Yes.
Christine, Angela, Stephanie, Fabiola,
Yeah.
and Shauna.
Okay, congratulations, Shirley. You have been elected to serve as council first vice president for 2025-2026. We are gonna now move on to the position of second vice president. Are there any nominations for the office of second vice president?
I'll nominate Fabiola.
Okay. Will you accept the nomination?
What's involved?
So basically, if I'm not here, she takes over. If she's not here, then the second vice president takes
Okay.
over, to put it simply.
I will accept the nomination because as she stated, we're a team. And I know that y'all would definitely make sure I don't sound crazy or look crazy. So I appreciate that. And y'all been so humbly welcoming. So yes, I'll take the nomination.
Is there anyone else for second vice president before we move forward? Okay. Do you want to say anything else, Fabiola, or do you want us to just move to a vote? Okay. I'm giving you a chance.
Well, this is new for me too. And I care so much about my community, my children, other people's children. And my goal is to progress. Anything that we can do to make a difference, I'm front and center. As you can see, I don't end the party, I start the party. Okay. So thank you for nominating me. Y'all
Awesome.
nominate me now after that. Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so Egypt, we can move to a roll call vote. I can't hear you.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Eden, I'm so sorry. Shirley,
Yes.
Christine, Angela, Stephanie.
Yes.
Fabiola
Yes, yes.
and Shauna.
Okay, congratulations.
Congratulations.
You've been elected to serve as second vice president for 2025, 2026.
I'll make y'all proud.
Next position we need to see if there's any nominations for will be treasurer. Are there any nominations for the position of treasurer?
Sorry to interrupt, but for those who are like confused onto what the role consists of, there are in the bylaws. So you guys can run through to see what you guys will be doing as far as officers on the council.
And also treasurer and secretary, you do have a lot of support from the AA, so don't feel afraid to like nominate yourself.
Absolutely.
Is that like secretary and treasurer, two different?
Yeah, we're gonna do them each as separate, so I need somebody for treasurer that would be interested. Is anybody interested in it? Christine, would you? Angela? Anybody? Shauna? Shauna's willing to, there you go. Okay, we'll give you a chance to speak.
So I actually have been a treasurer of a small professional organization in Seattle before. And so I have a little bit of experience, and in that case, I didn't have an AA, so that would be a great change. I think I'm fairly organized and good at, not afraid to deal with numbers, so that's me.
Thank you. Okay, Egypt, we can go to a roll call vote.
Shirley.
Yes.
Eden.
Yes.
Christine. Angela. Stephanie. Shauna. And Fabiola.
Yes. Okay,
Congratulations.
Shauna, you've been elected to serve as treasurer for 2025, 2026. Our last position, last but not least, are there any nominations for the position of secretary? And I'm gonna look in that direction because there's three of you there.
Yes, I'd like to nominate Stephanie.
Awesome.
Yes.
You'll take it out. Okay, any other nominations? Okay, Stephanie, go ahead. You have 2 minutes if you want to say anything.
Can I introduce myself?
Yeah.
What do I do? Okay, that's a lot. Okay, so,
You don't have to use all 2, don't worry.
thank you. I'm Stephanie Collado. This is my first year, participating in as a PTA secretary for my school. So, I'm very honored to be, the secretary to now the CEC. So hopefully, I can use my skills and my background. I did mostly like social work, but I love working with kids now. Now that my kids are in the district, I enjoy participating more. So I look forward to participating with you and my constituents and hope we can have a great year together.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, Egypt, last roll call vote for now.
Eden.
Yes.
Shirley. Christine. Angela. Stephanie.
Yes.
Fabiola
Yes.
and Shauna.
Okay, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Stephanie, you are our secretary for 2025 to 2026. So congratulations to everyone. Just so you know, the position is 1 year. Next year, we re-elect positions again. So anybody who feels like they want to move around next year, anything like that, feel free. Think about it throughout the year. The next thing on our agenda is public speaking. I don't know. You want to say anything?
Sure.
Hello, everyone.
Alvin.
Hello.
My name is Alvin Hung, and I was former CEC 25 member. I was in your position 2 years ago.
Wow.
Served here for 2023 until 2025 this year. I want to congratulate all the new incoming members. I want to congratulate the returning members,
Thank
Edith
you,
and
Alvin.
Shirley. Hope you guys have much success in the next 2 years. The next 24 months, you're gonna see a lot of issues concerning public schools. So be prepared, okay?
Yeah.
It's something that you learn along the way. Okay, you get to, learn the workings of public school education. You're gonna meet a lot of people. Okay, don't feel intimidated. Okay, voice your questions, voice your opinions. Okay, and most important thing is your kids need you. The city of New York kids, public education needs good CECs. So once again, congratulations for one of you. Hope
Thanks,
you have a
Alvin.
very successful 2 years.
Thank you.
And Alvin will hopefully come visit us frequently. My son's clapping.
Just to add something, when you guys look into this folder, we have all at the end, there's the bylaws.
Yes.
So this is what we've been working on till the end. And he is actually the member who was putting a lot of effort to make this
He was one of two
happen.
members that really.
Yes, so I mean, this is something that it's ongoing that we need to take on. So.
We'll look at it throughout the year if we want to do more changes, things like that. So, but
it's-
Alvin was a huge part
yes,
of that,
he
and we
was
were
a
able
great-
to have
great
our
supporter.
election on the bylaws at our very last meeting of the year.
Yes.
So,
Just one thing, bylaws are your bylaws. So if you need
Yes,
feel free to change anything, add anything to it, edit anything, please. Contribute.
yes.
anybody on line that would like to speak? Arlene, Shane, Sujin,
Congratulations, new board. Look
Thank-
forward to meeting you.
yeah, that was Shane. Okay,
I'd like to congratulate everybody, wish you well. If there's anything you want to know, you feel free to ask me. I might not have the right answer for you, but I could probably answer something.
Thank you.
Good luck to all of you. I didn't introduce myself. I was the president of School District 25, and I was on the board for 27 years. So it's in my heart, it's in my blood.
she lives right around the corner, basically.
I
Yeah.
can't help it, and I have so many new little babies in my building, and they're thrilled to be going to PS 242, and I keep telling them what a wonderful district this is, and we always depend on the parents, and that's what I was, the PTA president of President's Council, and then on the school board for 27 years. So enjoy yourself, learn about it, and, be open, be honest, and voice your opinions. Good luck to all of you.
Arlene.
Thank you, Arlene. And Arlene is just an amazing resource for the district. She knows the history of District 25, the schools that were built, a number of them. Arlene was responsible for making sure they get constructed, including 242, which is right across the street. So just a wealth of knowledge. But aside from the wealth of knowledge, just someone that you can always tap into and ask a question, because she's often joins us as a community board member, but serves as the education point for community board sessions. So just a wealth of knowledge and a tremendous resource for the district, but would also be for yourselves too, in the event that you had any questions. She's just terrific. So thank you, Arlene.
And in addition, Mike just mentioned there are 3 new schools being added to District 25.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so we have a couple of schools, Water's Edge. There'll be a new building opening referred to as Water's Edge, which is in the Bay Terrace area. We have one, I'm not even exactly sure what it would be phrased, but it's near Colden Street. It's in
area.
Flushing.
Between Colton and Casina
Yeah,
on 45th Avenue.
That one projected, and you'll hear more about this as the year goes on, and we have SEA comes and presents to you guys to hear a little bit about space planning and the types of buildings that will be coming to us. And another one, it's Point So there's an expectation that we have 3 brand new schools coming on board within the next 4 years or so. So more construction that is happening, in addition to some buildings that have just recently had new additions to their schools too. So, but a lot of that work you guys are going to be privy to in terms of conversation with folks from SEA, space planning, talk to you a little bit about what are the projections in projected enrollment in the district, what are the trends that they're seeing, and then ultimately, what does it mean in terms of making sure that we have the space necessary to support our kids as best as possible. So you guys will be privy to a lot of that information over the course of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Is there anything else you want to share?
Yeah, so
during public speaking?
typically, guys, I will give you a presentation, given the fact that you are engaging in elections. That's not something that's going to be happening tonight necessarily, but you'll hear a presentation from me on a monthly basis. You'll often hear a little bit about what has happened in the district, what's been going on, some of the celebratory things, things that we have coming forward, things for you to just be aware of as a parent, but in this case, as a CEC member, to share that widely as widely as you can with your communities. You'll also hear a lot from me in the event that you don't know a lot about me. You'll hear a lot of information regarding I'm a very big believer in current reality. Here's where we are as a district, not because it's going to be the perfect state, but it's the state we're in. And the only thing that we can do with that state is make adjustments so that we can get better from where we are at. So what you'll hear from me pretty frequently is, what does the data say about where we are in terms of our goals? You're going to hear about district goals. You're going to hear about the expectations that I have as a superintendent for the district in terms of what we're going to do next to support those goals. And then I'm going to keep track of them as the year goes on, so you can know the progress that we're making or not making. And if we're not making progress, the things that we have in mind to improve upon that. The CEC also played a major role in terms of some of the things that we do as a district as well. So in your bylaws are things around special education. A couple of years, if you think about 4 or 5 years ago, the CEC felt it was really important that on an annual basis, there was a special education section, a presentation that came from the district to the CEC and the community, so that there was an awareness around special education, students with IEPs, and what does that mean just in terms of awareness. So we took a springboard from that to create a larger group of a professional learning series for families that had 3 parts throughout the year. So parents knew what the IEP process was, what classifications meant, what it meant for incoming kindergarten families to know what that was about. So we take a lot of our lead from conversations that do come from here to start creating and adjusting as a district based on some of the conversations. The latest one this year came a new model, and you're going to see a new iteration of what the Strong Roots, Strong Schools theme is for District 25. And that came as a result of a CEC district collaboration. And the new model, which will be added to our current Strong Roots, Strong Schools, is wellness, kindness, community. Those 3 words came as an outgrowth of conversation that we had here as a CEC and district. So we did meet about a half hour before every one of the CEC meetings, and that began around February. We did a huge event in collaboration with Common Point Queens, the CBO. We had vendors from all over the place to talk about physical wellness, mental wellness, social emotional learning. It was just incredible, the variety of folks. We had New York City Lacrosse there. We had NYCFC Soccer Club there, all engaging collaboratively to support our kids in our community. And because of that work, we now have an ask, and you guys will hear about this if you're members of your SLT, an ask that every SLT agenda includes wellness, kindness, community, so that we're consistently connecting on some of the important things in our school, in addition to the academics, right? Yes, the academics is important and will always be, but so too is making sure that we're promoting and producing children that are well in each of those phases, that are promoting the space of kindness, and we're doing it together. Not that it's just the school or the parents or the kids, but that we're doing this in a collaborative effort. So those are the types of things that that you'll hear me talk about, and hopefully we can engage collaboratively on. How do we do that better? Our schools do run as pretty strong communities, but we can do that better. Our schools do offer things around wellness, but we can do it better, right? And the whole idea around kindness. Listen, I can tell you for sure, having an 8th grader going into high school now, a ninth, soon to be freshman, and a sophomore, soon to be junior going into next year, it's really important. It's really important. Our kids are in spaces where this age is a difficult time, figuring themselves out. What does it mean? How do I connect with that peer? They may have said something that rubs me the wrong way. It doesn't mean that they dislike you. They might have just said something that you didn't like. So how do we make sure that we give our kids the tools and strategies to make sure that they can manage that really, really well? So those are the types of things that we're going to be doing and talking about as the year goes on. And I'm a listener. So as you guys share, I take note, and then we make adjustments as necessary as the year goes on based on that feedback. So other than that, I wish all of you guys well. I'm excited to have a new group. We'll miss certainly our old group in the form of Alvin and all those that served before. But sometimes there's not necessarily the full understanding of what you guys can do as a CEC. But there's a lot that you can do as a collective community. So I'm excited for that and excited to work with all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Mike.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So does anybody want to make a motion to adjourn the annual meeting before we go into our business meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, somebody want a second it? Okay, so Shirley and Christine, and it's 8:08 Egypt. Okay, I will give everyone 2 minutes in case anybody wants to grab cupcakes, water, bathroom, and then we'll do our business meeting. So,
And you guys can fill out your member reimbursements if you haven't done so already.
everyone, the sections of it, so.
Yes.
Okay. Stop and Shop makes the best cakes, let me tell you.
They
I'm
do.
ordering cake for
They
my
do.
son's birthday also from there because their cake, I don't know what it is, but Stop and Shop, their cupcakes and cake is the best.
Okay.
You muted yourself again, Egypt, just so you know.
Muting it.
No, it's okay because I was agreeing so hard. It was too loud to unmute.
It's so moist.
I agree. Stop and Shop is good.
So
Their
good.
cake are good.
Yeah, they're really good.
The whole thing.
I have to come over here tomorrow to order his birthday cake actually for Saturday. That's yours.
Thank
I can
you.
hold on to it. I'll bring it down to the
Yeah,
office for Egypt then.
Thank you.
Then he just said.
Yes. I'll just give everyone a second and then we'll get started. So let me show Fabiola while we have a chance. Where'd I put it? My other one. So the reimbursement, I'm going to use Shirley as just an example. So you fill out the top section. It's in your folder with your information. Here you would put the date of the meeting. And then you would put, for internet is where you would put the 75, childcare, you would put 50. You sign and put the total and date it, and then I will sign for you.
Okay.
And then this one is where you would put the childcare provider, the information there, and then the internet.
Okay.
And then you sign it, and then you give it to me, and I'll, or Egypt when she's here, but I'll take it for you for today, and then I'll put it on her desk for her.
Thank you.
And then you're gonna have to sign mine when I submit mine. That's what the one difference. Cause I can't sign my own.
If anyone has questions, I can help you also, so you don't all have to like order even, you can come to both of us.
But yeah, I will give it one more minute and then we'll get started. I'm filling out. Bye. As well. Yeah, there's something about their cakes that I just love. I don't know.
They are really good. Really, really good.
I have it written on the bottom, so I'll email the list stuff. Okay. So before I call the business meeting to order, I'm gonna put Dr. Mike on the spot
Sure.
with
love
my
being on the
son.
spot.
And I'm gonna ask if we could sing a quick. happy
Oh,
birthday.
God, yeah. I didn't know that was coming. It was good. No one said something different about being on the spot.
So if we can just do a quick happy birthday before we call. Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
great. Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you for, thank you for assisting, Louis. I appreciate that.
He's a part of it. He's in on it. We're waiting for you. Kimmy's putting music on. I wasn't expecting that.
All right. I would try.
Oh,
Come on.
the mixed version too.
I did not bring this.
Oh, God, please don't
Oh, God.
play anything that's.
We're waiting for it. Dun. Look at this.
That's not.
Where'd it go?
Pros,
Oh, no. Turn that one off.
pros.
No.
Okay, well, we tried.
That's good.
Okay. I'm gonna
Thank you,
That's
everybody.
good. Stop
I
it.
appreciate it.
get it out.
Sean, happy birthday, buddy.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Hey, Dr. Mike and Shauna.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
Okay, perfect.
That was a long.
That was hilarious. That was perfect though, the little saying. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to call, I'm gonna call our business meeting to order. It is 8:13. If we could just go through a roll call again, Egypt. Emily and Sean, be
I
quiet.
got you. Eden,
Here.
Shirley, Christine, Angela. I'm sorry if I butcher any names. So Mia Quinn,
Not here.
Vincent,
Not here.
Stephanie,
Present.
Fabiola,
Present.
and Shauna.
Present.
Thank you.
So for our business meeting, I had mentioned to everyone to start looking at the calendar. We do want to just finalize our calendar of meetings for the year. So if you look in your folder, there was an email version of a calendar. And then we also gave you the DOE calendar to compare. From what I've looked at, I know we need to come up with a date for April, but I think we also should look at September because it is the day before the first day of school. And I would recommend that we look to push that back a week. And then for April, I think we're gonna have to look at like the third week of April. So I just want to see if anyone has any specific dates.
So we don't necessarily have to have it on Wednesday.
Right.
But we chose Wednesday because other CC 26 they will have it on Thursdays. So
So I was like, their meetings tomorrow, so
yes.
we kind of try to not overlap with them,
Because
but we,
sometimes we do a lot of collaboration meetings together with them, CC 26, so. As long as we have a one meeting per month, that month is good, so. I was thinking because April 1st is Passover and after that we have a spring break right
Right.
after, so. I was thinking maybe April 14 Tuesday or 15 Wednesday, either one. I know Monday is gonna be a little tough for everybody to stay here till
I think
9 o'clock.
if we want to stay with the Wednesdays, just because that's what we're
Yeah.
staying with, then the 15th would make sense.
Mhm.
And then I think for September 10th would be the following Wednesday after kids are in school and settled. That would be my recommendation, but I want everyone to kind of chime in.
I agree with that recommendation.
With the Wednesday.
And the other part is, once we decide those two dates, I think those are the only ones we really need to change. Looking at what I was looking at, do we want to have the meetings here? Or do we want to rotate around to schools? Because that was one of the things we've been discussing last year.
I like it here.
She's like, I like it here.
You know,
I'm okay with whatever everyone's in favor of.
Just Master Van Wick and I'll be good to go.
I mean, it doesn't matter to me where we go, but if we want to maybe do half the meetings here and then half maybe of the year somewhere, like every other month, maybe change it up, something like that, just to kind of start there and
But-
see.
But June meeting, we always have a award
Award ceremony.
ceremony, so we will be at
The school for that one.
For that.
Oh, right. It was 194 the other day.
This year we did at one
Yeah,
ninety-four, yeah. Actually, the last 2 years we have been posted at 194. So any other dates that stand out to anybody though, other than those two?
Not the only those 2 months.
October 8th is starred because that we had to do the second week just due to holidays also. And then the only other date I was contemplating when I was looking through was the June 3rd. I think it should be okay. There just happens to be no school June 4th and June 5th. So I didn't know if anyone was gonna be like traveling and if we wanted to possibly move that one back 1 week.
Because June is important. We want every member to be present because.
that
of the
award ceremony, yeah.
ceremony,
So do we want to push it back a week or do it the day before people are going possibly away for a long weekend? That would be my only other
I
thought.
I
looking at
believe doing it the day before everyone goes away, because I'm the type who goes away.
For like the long weekend.
Yeah.
No, that's why I'm saying like, I know people tend to do that,
Yeah.
especially near the end of the school year, people start to do things and. So like, if we did the Wednesday, June 3rd, it would be, okay, kids still had school that day, you're still gonna be around.
Yeah.
And then possibly going away after, or we could do it the following week, once everyone's back already, school's back in session, and do it that one. So we have options. But it will be our award ceremony and that will be our calendar meeting for the month at the same time.
Gotcha.
So we could stay with June 3rd, or we can go with, what date is that? June 10th.
June 10th?
Whatever everyone feels
Either
most
way,
comfortable with,
fine
I'm
either
good.
way. So, majority rule.
But by the tenth.
Cause I feel like everyone should be back
Yeah,
from any travels they might do.
right,
Okay, so let me make note of that.
so the 10th.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch it. Did we agree on the 10th?
For June, we're talking about the 10th, yes.
Yes,
April,
okay.
we were talking about the 15th, and September, we were talking about moving to the 10th. Also,
Okay, I got those. Okay.
those are the 3 dates that we kind of flagged and looked at.
Do we have to vote on the actual thing?
Okay, so is there any other dates before I have Egypt do a vote for us to agree on the calendar? Egypt, go ahead. We're gonna vote on it.
Eden,
Yes.
Shirley,
Yes.
Christine, Angela, Stephanie, Fabiola,
Yeah.
and Shauna.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did not have this on the agenda originally because we didn't know the budget would be released, but since it was, as we found out yesterday, there is a copy of last year's budget in everyone's pile there. And you could look at how we allocated things last year versus what we spent and our balance. This was prior to June, so this was prior to the end of the year. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna make a motion to add this to the agenda since it wasn't there. Anybody want to second that?
I'll send.
Okay. I got Shauna for second. So we're gonna add that on for now, just to discuss. If anyone has any thoughts, I would go by the allocated column. And then look at what was being spent throughout the year. If anyone has any recommendations, the P card is automatically 500. Everything else we can kind of play around with, but we do have time to move things around also, but we do have 25,000 that we need to split up across the different categories.
I don't see what was sections.
Yours is, okay, so this was as of June, this was the updated one. I can show you that because I happen to have my June one.
Yes.
So this is basically new budget that we.
For us to-
Yes, for a year.
So most things were spent except the meeting.
And our P
Yes.
card wasn't spent because Egypt was hired later on in the year, so we didn't get a P card until we had an AA. And
Normally AA use the P cards, just as like a bottle of water, folders, like, like snacks sometimes, things that. we
And the
need,
equipment
like,
this year So this year's equipment was like really focused on Egypt getting like a laptop up and running, like anything she would need for her to do her job since we had to actually hire an AA this past year. Reimbursements, we want to make sure we're allocating enough so that everybody's able to get their reimbursements throughout the year, and meeting expenses. Those seem to be like our big ones. But then supplies and meeting expenses, we kind of use a combo of for like our award ceremony or any events we do throughout the year. Egypt will bring some water bottles and stretch balls down to everybody next month. So you'll see like that's another one of the things like we happen to order under those. So we can kind of stick with what we did, come up with new breakdowns if there's any recommendations. But I want everyone to look at it and give thoughts and feedback.
Are we all looking at the same thing?
So everyone has that. Look at the allocated column, and that's how it's set up originally. But we can play around and move stuff from there.
Because our spent column is blank.
Yeah, that doesn't, so I happen to have the one from June that's what I was just showing. Shauna, we had spent, let's say, as of June, we had spent 10,475 of the reimbursements. We spent 3,300 basically of the supplies. We spent all of the repair line, all of the equipment line. And only 2,600 of the meeting expenses, and then nothing of the P card last year. So I feel like reimbursements and expenses and supplies are definitely our big bulk items that we'll want to put a lot towards. But I just want to see where, if anyone has any suggestions on any specific numbers.
The reimbursements line, is that based on how much it would cost if each member spends their full reimbursement?
That's what we had calculated, but I think we started it late.
Started it later.
Share something?
Yeah,
So, this budget is based on, this is the whole $25,000, right? And this reimbursement line is based on a full 12-member complement. All the members gain $125 a month, coming every month, the president getting $200 a month. Right now, you're short 4 members, right? So right now, we could say you're not gonna spend all of that money. You do have until, I'm gonna say around March.
I think that's
I
right.
could get to those,
The changes, yep.
yep, you know, when you have until now and then more or less of getting decisions the date as time comes closer, where you could make budget modifications.
And that's
So-
usually the last window is March. And then after that, wherever it lays,
Is where it
wherever
is.
falls is where it stays.
So for right now, let's say if you vote on this budget, or if you wanna make some changes, that's fine. But if you vote on this budget, you can open your budget, you can submit your reimbursement. You can also order, let's say, refreshments, you can order dinner for next month.
Right, we'd have like a dinner
You can start
possibly ordered.
ordering supplies and things like that, you know, and then, you know, as months go on and you see kind of how your spending is going. Any month, you know, even in September, October, November, you could decide,
Sure.
oh, you know, we want to reallocate, we want to buy equipment, we don't want to buy equipment, we want to buy supplies, we want to reallocate. And you can vote to do that at a later time.
So I think going off of that, like knowing the reimbursement section, I feel like it's probably a safe bet to start there and then allocate things around if we need to, but I want everyone to make sure they give their feedback and then we take a vote on that. So, anybody have any thoughts, concerns, comments? Okay, so Egypt, we can vote on the budget that everyone had in front of them. So we can start using it.
Okay. Eden,
Yes.
Shirley, Christine, Angela,
Yes.
Stephanie,
Yes.
Fabiola.
Yeah.
And Shauna.
Awesome. So we are good with our budget for the year, so I will work with Egypt on putting together a food order for next month. Whether it be pizza, Panera, things like that, we try to find, we've had bagels. So I'll come up with something so that when you get here, you don't have to rush to get dinner on your way here, you'll have something to eat. So that'll be that. And then as you guys hand in your reimbursement forms, I'll sign for you. And I will get those over to Egypt. She's not here today, but in the future, we'll be able to just hand them in to her.
So if I could also just say one thing to you guys too, when it comes to the budget, one, it's not a huge amount of money. right? But whatever is still there does not get rolled over,
Oh,
It goes back to the
right?
city at the end
So
of the
it's
year.
not,
Oh, we need to
it's not a
spend-
rollover. So if you didn't spend 5,000 of it, they don't add the 5,000
right
on
back.
to the next
Yeah.
year. So it's just important for you guys for just a space of awareness as the year starts going on. If you don't have all of the members that you thought you would have, and the reimbursements aren't being used, how do you kind of reallocate?
Right.
Just something for you guys at the very beginning to know that there's not this rollover that happens in June to the following year if you don't spend.
Okay, and then I'm gonna make a motion to just add one other topic to the calendar before we adjourn. Just talking about next month's meeting. If we could just take a vote on that, so we can talk about the agenda really quick.
Yes.
Eden,
Yes.
Shirley, Christine, Angela. I'm sorry, if you guys are saying yes, I can't hear you, so if I repeat your name again, I apologize. Okay, Stephanie, okay, Fabiola.
Yeah.
And Shauna.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
So for next month, just for our calendar meeting, Dr. Mike will have a presentation for us at that point. But I also will have the list of schools with us at that point. So we could start kind of assigning ourselves to different schools, so we could do site visits come September, start right away. Is there anything else anybody wants to put on the agenda, has something in their mind offhand? If not, I'll put together and then email out to everyone a potential agenda. But I want to see, for first the calendar meeting and the business meeting, if there's anything specific that anyone would like to put on that.
I'd like to discuss how we advertise the meetings to the public and if they could be maybe a bit more enticing for people who might be interested in coming.
Okay.
Yeah, because when I didn't know, I don't remember knowing about them before. Running, I did attend some online, at home. I think two, after finding out, and they're pretty lengthy. So I think some people might not want to come because of that. So maybe like Shauna said, something enticing.
Yeah, it's
to want them to
most
sit,
of
but
the,
I didn't stay on.
most of the schools are pushing it out through the parent coordinator, like hanging up at the school, but I don't know that they're pushing it out through their like platforms that they message out. And that's where I think might be a little bit of a disconnect. I know, like, I get through Dojo and I don't get the updates about it through Dojo. But I know if I look in the school when I'm there for PTA stuff, I do see it hanging on the wall. So I don't know if maybe like at PTA meetings, SLT meetings, like in like Dojo or whatever format anyone has, or Gamma messages, like reminder, hey, this is happening, to try to get people involved. So that's something we could definitely talk about at the next meeting. And then next month, I also want to put on the business meeting, if everyone's okay with that, planning out specific presentations that we want throughout the year from the district.
Yeah.
So we could kind of plan ahead of.
So just so you know, the things that we will certainly be talking to you guys about, there will be things connected to our reading work, things connected to the math work, and things connected to special education for sure. I've already gotten an agreement from our Common Point Queens. They're very willing to do another wellness day with us. So just so you guys have that in your mind's eye. But yeah, anything that you feel like you'd like to be in the know about, certainly let us know. And one of the things that also just to entice families that was really great last year is bringing our kids in to showcase themselves and the work that they do. We had a number of Civics for All presentations. Kids got up, and I'm talking as young as first grade, doing their soapbox speeches, engaging, us certainly as a panel, but their parents are here. They get excited. Their teachers are on Zoom listening in. It's just a nice way to celebrate our kids and celebrating the things that they have done really, really well. And that includes a young lady that was invited to the to the Queensborough Arts Festival and was able to kind of showcase her talent as a singer. You know, those things you don't always hear about. So it's how do we make sure that we get it shared more widely? It's almost to your point, you know, just talking about how do we kind of advance that so that others hear, because otherwise it stays in silos and no one knows about the amazing things that are happening for our kids. So we'll create as many of those opportunities as you guys see fit.
Yeah, so while we're talking about that, like plan and like certain months, like there's certain things we know we have to do. We could also talk about locations, like if we want to change location for a certain month at that point, I think that would be good to talk about during August, because I know July and August, it's not as many people in attendance to begin with. So it's a good chance for us to catch up on anything that we want to do for the year and line it up for the year. That's the only things I could think of offhand. Is there anything else?
Could I just say two quick things?
That's the month by month planning guide, actually, it's about guide that, as you make your agenda. I think that's all.
I don't have that in front of me right this second, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I try to think of all the different things offhand.
Yes.
Can I just mention two quick things?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what I'd love for everyone to think about is what does wellness, kindness, community mean to you? So that you can be part of creating what a shared definition, shared understanding of what that should be across our district. It is a new motto. I'm going to be talking about this with our principals. In fact, tomorrow we have a principal conference tomorrow, so I'm going to be talking to them about that too. But I would love to hear your perspective on what that means. We know we got that perspective from the previous CEC, but I would also like to know what that means for you, because it will be something that I add to every one of my own meetings, my own meeting presentation that I share with you. There will be a component that I try to include on a monthly basis around those three things and some of the things that we're hearing about in our schools. Some of the events that are happening from our building to building, which could also be a nice little entry when you get to your assignment of school that you're going to get a chance to visit. Just a conversation piece around. So talk to me about what you're doing, wellness, kindness, and community in your school. So just a nice way to kind of enter into a discussion. And the other thing that's going to be coming very, very soon, and for those of you that have children, especially those that have cell phones, there's going to be news that's coming to them that will be a little bit not so appealing to maybe some of our middle schoolers and maybe some of our upper elementary schoolers. But there is new cell phone policy that will be coming out. There is space for public comment that is out there and available through, I believe, the July 22nd, I believe. But it's important that you guys are also aware of that, because this is not this school is going to decide not to participate. This is an expectation from the state. What schools will be doing is organizing their expectations with their kids. But it's important that you guys know that this is, in fact, something that is coming down the pike. And parents will be hearing about it from SLTs, but also from the space of community letters that have to go out, so that everyone's on the same page, that this is not, there's a policy, but guess what? I'm going to take my phone out and, reach out to person A, B, C, or D. There's concerns from families. Well, if I want to get in touch with my child, well, there's always ways to get in touch with your children. It doesn't have to be on the cell phone, during the school day. But needless to say, there's going to be conversation that's coming. There's going to be lots of people on one side of it, the other side of it, and in the middle that others that, yes, please take those away. And those that no, right? There's going to be a range of that. In the end, there's going to be this notion of consensus that it's just what the state expectation is, and we're going to comply with it as best we can inside of our schools through the policies that are going to be created. But I wanted you to be aware that this is in fact coming down the pike, and I will be talking with you guys about it more during the August meeting. So just to kind of give you a little bit of a frame of reference that will be happening across all schools in district, in city, in state. Okay. Yeah.
And then one last thing I need to add, if everyone's okay with that, is we have two members that are not here tonight that we need to vote whether to approve their absences. So anytime somebody is not here, we do have to take a vote on that. So whether it's approved or unexcused, because if you're unexcused a certain amount of times, your seat can be vacated. So one of them did. One Jenny spoke to. So just to explain, so Vincent is out of the country right now, which is why he's not here. Did you say he was back for the August? Or he didn't specify?
So, then he would not be able to attend the check-in.
Okay,
Out of the country, I asked him if we would be able to attend the meeting in person, if we don't do it back in time, and there was no response, so I'm not sure.
okay. So my guess is he's probably still out of the country and that might be causing the delays. And then my Quinn Tang, from the communication that we had through Jenny, is finishing up her master's. And so she is in a class tonight. And that is why she was unable to be here. So for each individual, I would like us to vote whether to excuse or unexcuse the absence so that we have that recorded.
And if I mentioned about the bylaws, they should bring the bylaws on.
Yeah, in your bylaw copy is an explanation of what is considered excused. And then also what we could kind of see and what we feel based on the reasoning for the absence. So there's, if you look at that section, you'll see that before we vote on it.
We know the class is gonna be ongoing. We don't know that as of yet, so it's gonna happen.
Actually, we do have some information.
Really? Okay.
The class, she has
So she
two sessions left, right? So July and August.
Her last class will be August 10th, so she'll be available from that. And she emphasized that she wanted to stay.
So it would be this meeting and the August meeting that that she would be missing, but we're not gonna vote on the August one till that happens. So we would just be voting for this month, for each of them. So I just want to give everyone a chance to look at the bylaw section there on absences so that we can then take a vote. And that unfortunately, I can't put on the agenda till I see if somebody's actually absent, so that will come up as we run into it. Stephanie,
So did they give the 48 hours in advance?
yeah, I mean, Vincent, we knew for the check-in that he was out, so I'm gonna assume that meant he was just out.
Before.
It's kind of hard to know 100%. Cause Maribel did not get further communication after that, but I do know that we did have notice from the other candidate. Yeah, I think with the way we worded it in the bylaws, we were very careful to make sure we kind of elaborated a little bit more and kind of gave some leeway there so that it would come up. Yeah, because like I ran into a conflict last year at one point and it was something that wasn't on there, but luckily we had voted to excuse it. So like, we just need to know how we want to proceed with that.
When Maribel sent it that night, I did read it. I can look at it again, but if my memory serves me correctly, I think school was in there on the excuse.
Work, school, things like that that come up.
I don't have the name, sorry, but I think it's there as an excuse. I think so. It's fine.
Okay, so let's start with voting on my Quinn Tang and her absence first, whether to,
Okay.
and then we'll go on to Vincent.
Okay, sure. So Eden,
Yes.
Shirley.
Yes.
Christine. Angela. I didn't hear anything, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Stephanie. Fabiola.
Yes.
And Shauna.
Yes.
Okay, so we will excuse that absence for today. We'll address next month when it comes up. And then we're gonna move on to Vincent. Vincent, like I said, Maribel's communication was that he couldn't make the check-in. He did not necessarily answer about today. So I don't know, I can only assume that he's still traveling, but we don't know 100%. So that's just something we have to decide how we want to vote on.
No,
You say
it's
country.
Right, that's why he couldn't be on the check-in, was he was gonna be out of the country. So I mean, if it was yesterday that he was out of the country, I don't know that he would be back today. But I'm leaving that up to everyone, how you guys want to vote.
Okay. It should be.
I feel like it would be okay. Because I assume, like, what I know is when you're, depending on where you are, when you're
Right.
away, Wi-Fi is horrible.
Right.
So I'm giving him.
That's
the
why I'm,
benefit of the
like,
doubt that he didn't
Assuming
get it,
that,
or he can't respond somehow. So that's my assumption. So I feel like it would be.
and I know that Vincent has submitted his oath, right, Maribel? He has submitted his oath, or
Oh,
yeah,
no.
okay. So that's the other piece, just to the, right now, like, we can excuse them for this, but if by the end of this month, they haven't submitted their oath
Right.
after 30 days,
Yeah.
we run into an issue there anyway.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So even,
Get a document notarized, you're out of the country.
It would have to be here, I think, though. Because it would be the law of the land, right?
I think so. So we can take a vote on his absence, and then I guess at the end of the month, once we see if they get their oath in, we can reevaluate how we have to proceed. But we'll go through that vote at that point. Yeah, so once you have 3 unexcused, that's when your seat's able to be vacated. But then we would write up a resolution after sending out a letter to the person. Then we would also create a resolution if they don't respond to that. And then we would vote to vacate the seat.
I'm sorry, so if we excuse them today, does that go for that?
That wouldn't be unexcused. It would be
Okay.
considered excused.
Okay, so it doesn't count towards the 3.
Right.
One thing I just wanna add. We need 7 seats to make quorum, and we are already out 4 right now, right? 4
We have
seats are
2 seats
empty,
that aren't filled,
filled.
and we have 2 people not here, and we also don't have a borough president.
So that's 2
Person
to
yet.
3 vacant right now, right? So our purpose of this bylaw is not to pinpoint if you're excused, not excused. It's more like be responsible.
Right.
Everybody's here, this is voluntary, we're all here, let's respect that. That's why bylaw is there. So at some point, I want to give them an excuse. It's just that I'm just giving you the idea that 7 quorum is very important.
If we don't have 7 at a
We
meeting,
cannot
we
vote
can't vote.
anything.
Like
We
today, I
cannot
had
vote
to wait
for.
for us to have 7 in order for us to start the meeting, because we had to do elections. Other meetings I could start, but we wouldn't be able to vote on like minutes, things like that. We wouldn't be able to do anything like voting wise. So we'll vote on Vincent, and then we'll see how things play out with getting his oath and everything from there. So Egypt, will go through it one more time for Vincent.
Eden,
Yes.
Shirley. Christine. Angela. Stephanie. Excuse me, Fabiola.
Yes.
And Shauna.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you everyone for that.
Great.
Well, well, on that note, I will let somebody make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to-
Okay.
Shirley, who was my second? And Stephanie. Okay. Perfect. So thank you guys. We are done
Thank
for the
you.
evening. If you have your reimbursement filled out, you could bring it to me. I'll sign it, and then I'll take it, put on Egypt's desk for her. Shauna, I need you to sign mine, and then we'll be good. And I will see everyone next month on August 6th.
Guys, it was so nice meeting all of you guys.
Yeah.
Congratulations to
Happy
everyone.
birthday.
Oh, thank you so much.
Just making a list of